A World Cup red card was supposed to ban Team USA's star striker. Then FIFA changed its mind. And suddenly, one of the biggest matches of the tournament became something much bigger than football. Belgium are furious. USA fans are celebrating. Donald Trump is thanking FIFA. And football fans around the world are asking one uncomfortable question. Did FIFA just save Team USA? Welcome to Scorer, where local passion meets global football. From the streets of Kenya to stadiums around the world, we bring you the stories, controversies, and moments that make football more than just a game. And today, we are looking at the red card decision that has turned the World Cup into a global debate. Because this is not just about Folarin Balogun. This is not just about USA versus Belgium. This is about fairness, power, politics, and whether the rules feel the same when the host nation is involved. Let's go back to the moment that started everything. USA were playing Bosnia and Herzegovina in a massive World Cup match. The Americans were winning. Their tournament was alive. Their dream was growing. And then, in the second half, Folarin Balogun was sent off. A straight red card. For the USA, it was a nightmare. Balogun was not just another player. He was one of their most important attacking weapons. He had already scored goals in the tournament. He gave the team speed, movement, confidence, and a real threat in front of goal. And in knockout football, losing that kind of player can change everything. Normally, a red card means one simple thing. You miss the next match. No debate. No emotional appeal. No dramatic comeback. The player is suspended. And for USA, the next match was not a small game. It was Belgium. A round of 16 match. A chance to reach the quarterfinals. A chance to make history at home. A chance to prove that American soccer had finally taken the next step. But without Balogun, that chance looked very different. Belgium would have known it too. They would have prepared for a USA team without its main striker. They would have looked at the red card and thought, that is part of football. That is part of the tournament. That is the rule. But then FIFA made a decision that shocked everyone. Balogun's suspension was suspended, not erased completely, not ignored.
Of the referee was, of course, his choice, but I don't think it was the correct call. I think a yellow card would have been fair, just due to it not being intentional, and also, there's not many places I can place my foot in such a scenario. But I think it's happened, and it's something I have to accept and just move forward from.
But suspended for a 1-year probationary period. And just like that, he was allowed to play against Belgium. For USA fans, it was incredible news. For Belgium, it was unbelievable. And for neutral fans, it became the kind of controversy that makes the World Cup feel less like sport and more like politics. Because the timing was impossible to ignore. The United States is one of the host nations of this World Cup. Balogun is one of their most important players. The match is a massive knockout game. And reports say the White House had pushed FIFA over the decision. Then Donald Trump publicly thanked FIFA, saying they had corrected a great injustice. That is where the story exploded. Because now people were not just debating the tackle. They were debating influence. They were debating pressure. They were debating whether a host nation had received special treatment. And this is where FIFA has a real problem. Maybe the decision was legally allowed. Maybe FIFA had the power to suspend the ban. Maybe the disciplinary code gave them room to make that call. But football is not only about what is technically allowed. It is also about what feels fair. And to Belgium, this did not feel fair. Their federation said they were astonished. They questioned how a player who received a red card could suddenly become available for the very next game. And you can understand why they are angry. Imagine you are Belgium. You spend days preparing for a USA team without Balogun. You build your defensive plan. You study different attackers. You think one of the biggest threats is out of the match. Then, just before the game, FIFA says, actually, he can play. That changes everything. That changes your preparation. That changes your defensive matchups. That changes the psychological balance before the first whistle. And in a World Cup knockout match, small changes can decide everything. One run behind the defense. One mistake. One finish. One player who was not supposed to be on the pitch. That is why this controversy matters. Because if Balogun scores against Belgium, this story becomes even bigger. If USA win, Belgium fans will not forget this. If Balogun is involved in the winning goal, this decision will follow the tournament for years. And if USA go on a deep run, people will keep coming back to this moment and asking, was this the turning point? But we also have to look at the other side. For USA, this is not corruption. This is justice. Their argument is simple. The red card was harsh. The challenge did not look like a violent act. The player did not go out to injure anyone. The punishment felt too big for the incident. And if FIFA had the power to review the situation and suspend the ban, then why should Balogun miss one of the biggest games of his career? That is how USA fans see it. To them, this is not special treatment. This is correcting a bad decision. And that is what makes this story so powerful. Both sides feel they are right. USA feel they were punished unfairly. Belgium feel the rules were changed unfairly. FIFA says the disciplinary system allowed the decision. Critics say the decision looks terrible because of the timing, the pressure, and the political attention around it. And in the middle of all of this is Balogun, a player who went from being suspended, to being available, to becoming the face of one of the biggest controversies of the World Cup. That is a strange position for any footballer. Because now, every touch he takes against Belgium will feel louder. Every run will be watched. Every shot will carry extra weight. If he plays badly, people will say the controversy distracted him. If he plays well, Belgium will feel even more wronged. If he scores, the internet will explode. And that is exactly why this match has become must-watch football. Not just because USA and Belgium are both strong teams, but because the game now has a question hanging over it. Should Balogun be on the pitch? That one question changes the atmosphere. It creates pressure on the referee, pressure on FIFA, pressure on Belgium, pressure on USA, and huge pressure on Balogun himself. Because football loves a controversy. But football also has a way of making the controversial player the main character. And now Balogun is exactly that. He is no longer just a striker. He is the symbol of a bigger argument. Are FIFA's rules consistent? Can politics influence football decisions? Did the host nation get a break? Or did FIFA simply fix a bad call? The truth is, people will answer those questions based on who they support. USA fans will say justice was done. Belgium fans will say the tournament has been compromised. Neutral fans will probably say FIFA created another mess. And FIFA? FIFA will hope the football takes over. They will hope the match is clean. They will hope there is no controversial goal. They will hope Balogun does not become the reason Belgium go home. Because if that happens, this story will not go away. It will get bigger. It will become one of those World Cup moments people argue about for years. The red card, the reversal, the political pressure, the angry opponent, the host nation, the striker who was supposed to be suspended. That is not just a football story. That is a World Cup controversy with everything. Drama, power, emotion, and a question nobody can completely escape. Did FIFA just save Team USA? Or did FIFA finally make the right call? The answer may depend on what happens next. Because if USA lose, this controversy may fade. People will talk about it for a few days, then move on. But if USA win, if Balogun scores, if Belgium are knocked out by the player they believe should not have been there, then this becomes one of the defining stories of the tournament. And maybe one of the most controversial decisions in modern World Cup history. Because in football, rules matter. But perception matters too. And right now, the perception is dangerous. A host nation needed its striker. FIFA found a way for him to play. Belgium are angry. The world is watching. And Balogun is walking into the biggest match of his life with controversy on his back. This is Scorer, real voices, real football stories, from Kenya to the world. Subscribe for more global football stories, match insights, player spotlights, and the moments that define the beautiful game. Because here, football is not just watched. It is lived.